I'm Bill DeRosa along with Bonnie Stewart for This Week at the Capitol. Bonnie, the state's fiscal situation has been the main concern for a while up at the Capitol. What's been happening on that front?
That was actually the hot topic this past week at the Capitol. First of all, the House Republicans held a press conference along with the Senate Republicans to talk about their game plan for the upcoming year, and they called it their common sense approach. In that, they announced that they had roughly $1 billion worth of savings by either cutting spending in certain areas or improving in terms of efficiencies. But in the end, they had a lot of good ideas for how the state could become far more effective and efficient and save the taxpayers quite a bit of money while improving services.
The governor's released recently some information about his budget address coming up on February 16th. What do we know so far?
You're right. He gave us a couple sneak peeks. Initially, he said that he would be cutting spending by roughly $2 billion in the service budget. That's really good news because anything we can do to make the state more efficient and more effective obviously is a benefit to everybody. And with the state's fiscal situation being what it is, cutting spending is absolutely key. He also mentioned the whole issue of taxes as well and said that everything's on the table. In particular, he was talking about reviewing all of the credits and exemptions where the taxes were concerned. A big issue for CBIA because a lot of those so-called tax expenditures actually are revenue enhancers because when you have something such as the research and development tax credit, it encourages businesses to locate in the state and perform those activities here. So extremely important issues for us up at the Capitol this week as far as fiscal concerns where the state is.
What are we expecting next week?
We have a number of important issues being discussed at the Capitol this coming week. Start off with captive audience. It's a measure that's more or less a gag order on employers in terms of telling us when we can talk to our employees and what we can talk to them about. Bad measure and definitely doesn't help in terms of the current job climate or trying to improve that job climate here in Connecticut. So we're hoping that legislators come out early and overwhelmingly say no to that job killer measure. Also, the Environment Committee is going to be listening to a measure or comments about a measure concerning enforcement and staffing at the Department of Environmental Protection. That's a big issue for us because we feel that they could do an awful lot through innovation and reprioritization of their goals, and that's what's more likely to happen or definitely needs to happen in this fiscal situation. The last big issue that we know will be discussed up at the Capitol this week is the whole issue of health care. And as somebody here said, we need to remember that old proverb about physician heal thyself and apply that to the legislature. Because our big concern with the legislature when it comes to the cost of health insurance is the fact that they keep on saying it's too expensive, we need to bring it down. And at the same time, they keep on passing new measures to drive those costs up. So a lot happening up at this Capitol this week of concern to the business community and to the people of Connecticut.
Thanks, Bonnie.
You're welcome.